I'm going to use this video to call myself out for two specific reasons, which I will share exactly what those are with you in this video. And in addition to that, hopefully it serves as a reminder to you to also, hold yourself accountable and come through with certain things that you said you were going to do that you might not have necessarily done. Okay. So without beating around the bush, I'm going to go straight into it. Let's go into the first thing. Okay. Now, for those of you who had been around on my channel for a while, subscribed, it's not like I've had this channel for that long, but if you're eagle-eyed or if you've really been paying attention, you will remember that there were some videos in the past where I talked about doing a little more reading. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me pull them up so you can see. All right, so these two videos right here, okay, I looked up Rich Dad Poor Dad. These were the two specific videos I was looking for. Right, one of them in which I was talking about one of my biggest regrets in life, right? And that was the fact that I've not done as much reading as I could have done or should have done in all this time, right? And how much further along I could have been knowledge-wise, right? But it's never too late to start. And I did say, I did plan to start doing a whole lot more of that earlier on, basically in 2025. But all the way now, this is, it just hit me because we've essentially entered the second quarter of the year, and I am yet to start reading this book, okay? This book that I said, let me blow this up a little bit so you can see it, right? I'm yet to start reading this book that I said I was going to, start out reading, right? I have heard the audiobook version of this, right? So I don't know whether or not that's really considered reading. I mean, people have different opinions on that, right? This was the other, if you look, there was another video that I had done on the same topic. So 3 months ago, I talked about one of my, biggest regrets in life, which was not reading. And then 2 months ago, I talked about I talked about whether audiobooks count as reading, okay? And in both instances, with the one where I talked about my biggest regret in life, not reading, I did mention this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad, okay? If I didn't mention it earlier, Rich Dad Poor Dad is just such an iconic cover. I just felt like everybody would recognize it, but I should not make such an assumption, right? So in both cases, I did mention Rich Dad Poor Dad as a book that, that is going to be probably one of the first that I do start reading, so with this journey of trying to start reading a little bit more later on in life, okay? So that's what I talked about in that first one, where I said definitely one of my biggest regrets in life. And then the other one I talked about audiobooks, right? Whether that counts as reading. And that's because I've actually heard the audiobook version of this particular book, but it was a while ago. And, there's a part of me that felt a little guilt or like a fraud if someone asked me if you have read Rich Dad Poor Dad. When I say yes, or if I would say yes, I somehow feel like a fraud for saying that because I haven't actually read it. I heard the audiobook, right? But because I want to develop this habit of reading, right? More reading discipline, I went ahead and I purchased the book, which you can get yourself as well if you want to by clicking the first link in the description below this video. It'll take you to this page where you can get a copy for yourself, okay? 100% transparency, that is my affiliate link, and I will get a small commission if you do decide to purchase this book at no additional cost to you whatsoever. It's just a means of monetizing the channel. It'll help support the channel if that is something that you wish to do, okay? Now, this is, that's the first thing, all right? That's the first thing. And the two things I wanted to call myself out on, they kind of go hand in hand, right? With not reading, I'm looking to start, I need to start doing that right away, right? No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because the fact of the matter is this comes down to a discipline thing or lack thereof, right? you can't tell me, at least let me not, again, here I go making assumptions again. Everybody's life is different, so I can't, just because something applies to me doesn't necessarily apply to everyone else. What I was gonna say, which I probably shouldn't have said, is that you can't tell me that that as an individual you can't find 10, 15, 30 minutes in a day to start reading, which that's wrong for me to say because I don't know what everybody else has going on in their life. So I should speak for myself. Okay. I know that I should be able to set aside, at least 30 minutes a day or whatever the case may be, or try to, every single day to be able to at least try to read some 10 pages or try to get 10 pages in, whatever the case may be. Whatever the amount, I don't know. I'm not an avid reader. So for those who are avid readers, they may look at that as like ridiculous, like small, whatever the case may be. But as somebody who does not do this on a regular basis, I'm gonna start small and gradually work my way up. Okay, it's just it's a lack of discipline, right? I know for a fact that I should be able to find 15, 30 minutes in a day to set aside to dedicate to reading, right? To expand my knowledge. And again, that goes way beyond just this one book, right? It goes way beyond this one book. Because ideally, I was looking to be in a scenario where I was at the very least trying to read at least one book a month, right? So with 3 months gone by, I'm basically 3 months behind. If I had stuck to what I said I was going to do, I technically should have read this is April, so I technically should have read 3 books by now, okay? But I haven't, so I've got one of two things, one of two choices. I can sit and cry about it, or I can try to start doing something about it right now. They always say, what is that saying? When is the best time? Best time to plant a tree was like 100 years ago, something like that. And the next best time is now, right? Today. So that's basically what I need to do. Like start planting that tree today. Okay. I'll work my way from there, and hopefully, maybe I may get to the point where I'm, reading more than one book a month or so, right? And I'll make up for, try to make up for the 3 months that I didn't cover a book or whatever the case may be. But, that's what I'm gonna do, right? Looks like could be like something. I'm not starting a book club. No, it's not like whatever. I don't know what. I'm not even sure I even know exactly what having a book club really entails. I don't know, but I'm just running my mouth now. But that's the one thing, right? So so the second part of it is like, okay, what am I gonna do to start to change things, right? Well, this is where the second thing comes into play that I had mentioned that I was gonna call myself out about, right? I had mentioned, right? I remember in the past there was a video I had mentioned that this channel, right? This channel was one that I meant to have, it was meant to be something about not only just online business, but, a little personal development, pursuing financial independence. And I had been too focused on just one and not necessarily covering more of the personal development aspects, which is what I'm doing in this video right now, right? One of the things that I did say I would want to do that I have not yet done, right, is basically experimenting with just, taking this channel all different kinds of directions, right? Not necessarily, everyone generally says, you've got to find a niche, right? So essentially what I'm looking to do is just basically throw out all the rules, throw caution to the wind, all the rules that the YouTube gurus give, throw it out the window, right? And just go in all different kinds of directions just to see what it's like, right? Because there is another school of thought of people say that, okay, you don't necessarily have to have a niche, that you as the individual are the niche, right? So if you get people that eventually get to know, like, and trust you, or enjoy whatever you put out, they will be on board with whatever you're doing out of interest, curiosity, whatever the case may be, right? So I guess for this month of April, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna go wild, experiment with that a little bit more and see how things go. After all, after all the videos that I have put out, I'm still at it, I'm still at 352 subscribers, which is, in my mind, I believe is small enough to where, I don't know, like I could be making a terrible mistake right now, right? I very well can. And if you have any opinions on this, let me know in the comments, right? With everything that I've talked about, any opinions that you have about this, let me know in the comments. I would really love to hear it, right? But I could actually, in the course of doing this, one of two things could possibly happen, right? I could find out that that is what really makes a channel, quote unquote, explode, as people say, but it's let's just say, let's keep the word explode out of the equation, right? That could be the thing that makes the channel grow a little bit more quickly. I don't know, right? As opposed to doing what I have been doing so far, right? That's the other thing, right? So that's the second thing I wanted to call myself out on, is I did say I wanted to, the reason I even created this channel to begin with is because I wanted it to just be a place where I could come and do whatever I wanted, talk about whatever it is that I wanted without necessarily niching down so much, right? Like, even if I go in different directions, I would try to all tie it back to the general theme of, documenting a journey of, of trying to, of pursuing financial independence through online business, and then also talking about personal development and all that type of stuff. So this month of April, I'm going to, like I have done in all previous months, when I usually do like little updates on how things are going with my channel, right? I highlight a specific thing that I'm experimenting on. Like, for example, the month of March, I was experimenting on doing only, videos that were at least 20 minutes long, all in an effort to see if that would improve my watch time. Okay. So I did that for the month of March. Did it improve my watch time? Yes, it did. Okay. Is that something that maybe I should continue doing? Maybe so, maybe not so. Like, just because the difference big enough to where I feel like I should be doing at least 20-minute videos? The difference was, what was it? My average view time went up to 2 minutes and 40 something seconds versus the usual 2 minutes 30 seconds, which I've gotten from doing videos that are like roughly 10 to 15 minutes long. So it's all a balancing act. But for this month of April, I guess the focus is just going to be on just doing whatever, like, not necessarily restricting myself as much as I have been thus far with talking about, an online business and selling digital products and all that type of stuff, right? I'm just gonna, this time around, for this month of April, just go, get a little looser, right? And expand a little bit more, right? And see how things go that way, right? I think, in the course of doing that, I may end up losing a few subscribers because that's not necessarily what they signed up for. I'm not necessarily sure. But then again, if you are one of those people, let me know in the comments. It will be interesting to know how this really affects. And the reason why I feel like, okay, I could possibly just branch out and just try all kinds of stuff at the risk of losing subscribers is because of the fact that I don't have too many to begin with, right? I don't have too many to begin with. So, like I said, this could be something that absolutely hurts the channel or something that helps the channel. We'll find out with time. Okay. So those are the two things, right, that I wanted to call myself out on, right? Not following through with, reading, not following through with two things that I said I was going to do, which is, more reading, right? More reading, and then two, doing more, like diversifying the content that I put out on this channel and just basically talking about the thing, like, not niching down so much. Let's just put it that way. I did say in a previous video that I was going to, throw all the rules out the window, right? All the quote unquote YouTube rules and things that are recommended by all the gurus and all that type. I'm not saying that what they say is wrong. I'm not saying that you shouldn't follow those the guidance and those tips. You absolutely should. I'm just experimenting here with my channel, and you know, I guess they call it YouTube for a reason, for you to do what you would do, I suppose, and those who are interested will keep up, or not if they're not. Okay, so that's that. And then lastly, I just wanted to say, all right, use this as a way to encourage you and remind you to get back on track with being disciplined to do what you might have set out to do earlier on this year or whenever that was. Okay, like being a little more disciplined, following through with whatever it is that you wanted to do. This, like I mentioned, I bring this back to discipline, right? On my part, this was, as far as like the reading part goes, that's just flat out a lack of discipline. That's like, I'm not going to make any excuses for it, or the reason why I haven't done it, or why, you know, like I've been too busy or anything. Like, no, right? It doesn't, like, I know what goes on in my life. No matter how busy I've been, I know that as a result of not being disciplined, right? You know, that I have not been reading, right? So we'll see. And not even that, we'll see. One of the things that I forgot to mention in terms of like what I'm going to do about it to help improve the chances of me actually following through, is that I'm actually gonna, you know, obviously some of the things that you know, not only set aside some time to do it, but on this YouTube channel, which is where I was saying, like, kind of ties in with my second thing I was calling myself out for, is on this YouTube channel, what I'm going to start doing is talk a little bit more about what I've read from the book on probably not on a daily basis, but on a regular basis, right? Maybe when I finish each chapter or something like that, right? Kind of as a way to help, maybe possibly help force me actually get through with all this stuff, right? So that's that. Like I mentioned, if you're interested, right? If you're interested in seeing what this book is all about, and like for yourself, as opposed to like just hearing it from me, all right? I would encourage you to go ahead and get the book for yourself, right? That's going to be the first link in the description below this video, and then the second link in the description below this video is going to be one that will take you to a place where you can start your own online business, selling digital products, if that is something that you're interested in. If you've ever wanted to make money online, didn't know where to start, check out the second link in the description below this video. That will be a good place to start. It's with a business model called affiliate marketing, which does not require you. It's one of the ones with the lowest barrier to entry that just about anyone can get started with, right? You'll get access to free training, right? That will show you how to start, and also how to start making money without having to pay anything if you don't want to, right? And it's affiliate marketing, right? You're just promoting other people's products and earning a commission from it, right? For sales or leads that you generate, and which means you don't have to deal with any customers, right? You don't have to do customer service. You don't have to handle any inventory. You don't have to create any products of your own. All you have to do is learn the skill of driving traffic, right? Digital marketing in essence, right? And start generating sales that way. So if you want to learn all about that, that's going to be the second link in the description below this video. Thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch, and I will catch you in my next video. Ciao.